Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. What's going on between Turkey, United States? Now we have Hungary, Turkey, and United States. And we have Hungary, Turkey, United States, and United States is little bottom-feeding countries that are following United States willingly or not willingly. I suspect, according to the information and statements and reports that I've been reading in the past, 2-3 months, that Hungary and Turkey formed a common front against the United States. And I could see that from Turkey, starting when the 2016 coup was attempted in Turkey. Remember that one? And Erdogan thought it was the big boss involved, partly. And you have Orban in Hungary that tries to be independent and sometimes collided with European Union and United States by doing whatever it wants, whatever is beneficial to Hungary. So what happened now? This is what happened now. This article comes from Sputnik. It's from today, and today is the 3rd of February 2023. Turkish Interior Minister urges U.S. ambassador to, and I'm quoting, take dirty hands, end quote, off Turkey. Well, those are not friendly, that's not a friendly talk over here. Not friendly words. If you don't know what happened, the Americans, after those guys burned the Quran in Sweden, and I think they did it, I don't think they did it in Finland, but I think they did it in Norway. They wanted to do it in Norway. I don't know if they did it in Denmark yet. The Turkish government, summoned the ambassadors and spoke to them and complained and all that. And then the United States issued an emergency or a security threat to people who would like to travel to Turkey, and saying that there could be some demonstrations against foreigners, and in Europe you could expect certain kind of groups to physically attack you and be violent. Again, Turkish authorities summoned some European countries' ambassadors, including the United States, and tell them that they complained, hey, what's going on here? This is Islamophobia, this is this and that. So now we got to this point where the Interior Minister tells, according to Sputnik, the U.S. ambassador to get your dirty hands off Turkey. So, Turkish Interior Minister Süleyman Soylu on Friday called on the U.S. ambassador to Ankara to, and I'm quoting, take his dirty hands, end quote, off the country, accusing him of trying to, and I'm quoting, provoke Turkey. And I'm quoting Mr. Soylu. I'm talking to the U.S. ambassador. Get your dirty hands off Turkey. I say it very clearly. Get your dirty hands off Turkey. I know exactly what you have done, what steps you have taken, how you want to provoke Turkey, end quote. Soylu was quoted as saying by a Turkish TV channel. Now, earlier this week, the consulates of Sweden, the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, and Germany in Istanbul stopped receiving visitors after the US had issued a warning about possible terror attacks. On Thursday, Soylu called the move a, and I'm quoting, psychological war against his country. On Monday, the US Embassy in Turkey warned Americans of possible imminent retaliatory attacks by terrorists against churches, synagogues, and diplomatic missions in Istanbul or other places Westerners frequent, especially in the Beyoğlu, Galata, Taksim, and Istiklal areas. The warning was an update to the January 27 security alert released amid the burning of copies of the Muslim Holy Book by activists in Europe. Earlier in January, Rasmus Paludan, the leader of the Danish political party Stram Kurs, burned copies of the Quran in Sweden and Denmark in protest against the Turkish leadership. See, this guy's called Rasmus Paludan, the leader of the Danish political party. If you read about this guy in the Western media, over there, after between the and Danish political party will be the right-wing or extreme right Danish political party. Read it and you're gonna find out. So this guy burned a copy of Quran in Sweden and Denmark in protest against the Turkish leadership. What one has to do with the other, anyway. But at least this is what Sputnik wants us to believe, that it was about the leadership and Quran. It's a long stretch. I'm telling you later. A similar protest was carried out by Dutch politician and leader of the Islamophobic group Pagida Edwin Wagensveld in the Netherlands, when he tore out pages from a copy of the Muslim holy book and burned them in front of the parliamentary building in The Hague. So, what is the American ambassador doing in Turkey that the interior minister has these harsh words? Now, what Hungary did, I covered the statements. Well, first, Kamasoglu, I think that's something close, is the foreign minister of Turkey. He visited his Hungarian counterpart, Peter Szijjártó, in Budapest 2 days ago, and they had a joint press conference, and at one point they said that they will look for their country's interest, and Szijjártó, the foreign minister of Hungary, smart guy, he called out the US ambassador to Hungary, David Pullman, Coleman, something like that. Not Kosman, okay? Pullman something. So he called that guy, that weasel, out. I made a video, I think yesterday, about this, telling him that he doesn't, Szijjártó said that it's what the US ambassador thinks is irrelevant to to Hungary, because Hungary is of Hungarian people and they look for their interest and blah, 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 blah. Well, that obviously with Kanasoglu, the foreign minister of Turkey, together, now this interior minister and the interior minister in those countries are like you would have, let's say, United States of America, and a minister, a secretary of whatever, that would oversee FBI, the police, NSA, the security forces, if you know what I mean. So that's the minister, the guy in charge with security of the state. So the interior minister over there is the guy who is with the intelligence community, if you know what I mean. So he knows what those guys are trying to do, by click. So they're kind of like that. Now the relationship between U.S. and Turkey deteriorated greatly after the Turks wanted to, actually after the 2016 attempted coup, if you remember that one in Turkey. And the Turks are claiming, or at least not, they don't say it was you, but it's 99% that way. They use euphemisms and all that. And they blame partly the US for that coup. Erdogan narrowly escaped that coup, and after that, everything crumbled between the United States and Turkey. Erdogan is an independent, or at least tries to be independent in this big new world order, or how they call it, rule-based world order. Rule-based, that means you follow the rules when I feel like. So, and it seems very coincidental that both Turkey and Hungary are the only NATO countries that did not ratify the membership application admission of Finland and Sweden into NATO. These two, which are very friendly with Russia as well. So it's kind of like this meeting that occurred in Budapest, I think, solved a lot of problems and shook hands in many, many areas. NATO, I think European Union, the war in Ukraine, weapons, and other things like that. So, right, take your dirty hands off Turkey. Very tough, very tough. We'll see how Turkey will succeed in withstanding the wind of change, if you know. Wind of change, yeah. Scorpions song. Yeah, it's a little regime change. Remember the four tools that the United States has in its diplomacy toolbox since 1991. There is threats, blackmail, regime change, and then outright invasion to help people inside your country because somehow you violate certain kind of rights, and then they have to intervene because he or they were appointed to be the police of this planet. Someone called them. You gotta be, we agree, you go over there. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.